Greetings gamers, I'm Anto. I'm currently away, so I wanted to make a really quick video for you today. So we're going to take a look at what's inside my DM bag. Now this is not a bag of holding, it's not even a handy haversack, it's just a regular messenger bag that I use to take all the things I need to run D&D when I'm running an in-person session. And I thought it'd be cool to take a look through it and see what things I consider to be essential when running D&D. Links to everything I use will be down in the description below, but let's dive straight in. Starting with the bag, this is just a regular messenger bag. I got it off Amazon. It fits everything I need quite nicely, if not a little snug. Normally you can close these front latches, but because of everything I've got in here you can't, but it does have a zip up top which keeps everything dry if you have to travel with it. Jumping straight into the back pocket though, we have this little notebook. Now I like to keep a small notebook with me wherever I go, just so that I can jot down ideas. This is a small one that includes a little binder in it so you can swap out the pages, and I just keep notes whenever I'm on the go in this. Sometimes I'll use it in the session, but most of the time I'll be using a different notebook. This is just when I'm out and about, I keep this bag with me all the time. Even when I don't have my DM stuff in it, I use this bag pretty much every day. So I always keep a notebook dedicated to D&D in the back pocket, so that if I want to jot down an idea or work something out, it's there and ready to go. Next, jumping into the side pocket, we have a copy of the card game Dungeon Mayhem. Now this is a really quick and easy to play game that you can play with up to 4 people, and I keep a copy of this so that if I arrive at a game session and not everyone is there yet, I can bust this out, we can have a couple of games, get us in the spirit of playing tabletop games before everyone is there, and we dive right into it. On the other side, we have all of my pens and markers. Now I use a dry erase board when I'm playing at the table. So I have a variety of different colored dry erase markers, a regular pen, a permanent marker that I keep in the side pocket. Jumping to the front of the bag, I keep a portable power brick, just something I can use to charge my phone or a tablet if I'm on the go, and I usually keep a power cable in there as well, of course. This is handy because quite often where we play there isn't a lot of power points, so if I can't get my phone plugged in and I've been out all day, say I've been in work all day, then we're going to play D&D, I want to make sure I've got enough charge, so I keep a power brick in my bag too. And then in the other pocket I just keep a baggie with all the bases for my card minis. Diving into the bag itself, the first thing that I keep right at the top is this dice bag. Now this is a little bag that a camera lens came in that I've repurposed for dice, and I keep a whole bunch of different dice in here. I keep my polyhedrals, and I keep a whole bunch of d6s for rolling fireball damage and things like that. Next, I keep a copy of my core rules. I play Pathfinder, so I keep the Pathfinder core rules in here. I very rarely actually have to use this because so many of the rules for Pathfinder are available online. It's not very often that we find ourselves at the table flicking through this book, but it is handy to have just in case, even though it does weigh an absolute ton. Next, I have my GM screen. This is the official Pathfinder one, and I actually think that this one is pretty good in terms of what information it contains. It has pretty much everything that I would want to refer to really commonly, such as common conditions, what counts as different actions, DCs for things, and obviously I can place it up and it blocks me from the players, so I can roll behind here, I can make notes, and it serves the job perfectly well. I also use the double-sided gridded playmat that is included with the Pathfinder starter set. I almost always just use the plain gridded side, though it does contain a small dungeon system on it, but I think I've used this maybe once. Having the plain grid is much more convenient because I can draw on anything I need using my dry erase pens. And then we come to probably the most important thing that I carry in my bag, and that is my laptop. This is a fairly inexpensive laptop. I replaced the hard drive in it with an SSD to speed it up, but this is the workhorse when I am running D&D. I use OneNote or something like Legend Keeper to keep all my notes on, and then I run the game basically from this laptop behind the DM screen. It means I don't have to keep as many loose leaf notes. I find it much easier to type and much quicker to type than I do scrolling hand-drawn notes, and I can access the entire system reference document for Pathfinder or for whatever game I'm running on my laptop. Another really great option instead of a laptop is a Windows tablet. Now I suggest a Windows tablet versus another tablet purely because you get the programs from Windows on that. So I run a lot of online games using Fantasy Grounds. So with a Windows tablet, I can install Fantasy Grounds on there. And if I'm running an online game one week and then we play in person the next week, I can keep that data week to week without having to do much fiddling around. But an Android tablet will work just as well. For example, if you use something like OneNote or Legend Keeper or World Anvil to run your games, as long as you can connect to the internet, an Android or an Apple-based tablet will work really well as well. I know there are lots of dedicated apps on Apple and Android for D&D, so there's a lot of different options if you want to run with a tablet, and it's a little less bulky than running with a laptop. And then finally in my bag, I keep my DM binder. This is chock full of a variety of things. So you can see here, I open it up, I have a really rough map of my world just so I can quickly reference it. And then I have a copy of the GM screen so I can take a look at anything that would be on my GM screen. Say if I'm not running a GM screen that day, I can use these, or I can make notes on them as things change. I keep copies of my players' core stats. As time goes on, I change this. I haven't changed this in a good long while because it's been a while since I've needed to use this binder over my laptop. But I keep a copy of their core stats so I can quickly reference them. And then I keep a copy of the player character bio sheets as well, just so that I can reference them when I'm making encounters or thinking of new concepts to play with the campaign. In here as well, just because I don't have anywhere else to keep it, I keep all the stuff that was included in the Pathfinder beginner box. So the small version of the Game Mastery Guide, the small version of the Hero's Handbook, and then the transition guide. This is handy if I'm going to be running a game for new players. I can use these and use the pre-gen character sheets that I keep in here as well, and hand those to new players to get them started. So this is all I really need. This, my GM screen and the flip mat are really all I need to run a brand new game for someone. And then I keep some copies of the getting started blank character sheets to photocopy as well. Next I have a whole bunch of notebook paper. This is just so I can make quick scrolls if needed, write notes to the players, write down anything I need to keep track of during the session. And then this binder is also where I keep all of my card pawns. So I keep them in these plastic wallets. I pop them out as needed, put them back. I'm missing one here, it's fallen out. And it makes it much easier to store these than sticking them all in a box. I can quickly flick through and find the ones I need. And then finally, right at the back, I keep a selection of weathered paper. Every so often I will take some drawing paper and I will stain it with tea, and usually I keep several copies in here, several sheets in here, so that if during the game I want to write a note in character, I've got some parchment ready to go. There we have it. That's everything that I keep in my bag when I need to run D&D. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found a couple useful tips. This is something more aimed to the newer DM. You experienced DMs are going to have your own systems and know what you want to take to your game. But I hope you enjoyed the video nonetheless. If you did, hit the like button. Leave me a comment below if I've missed something that you think is absolutely essential to take with you anytime you're playing D&D. Pop that down in the comments below. And until next time, happy gaming. Thanks for watching. If you're new here and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. I release a new RPG, tabletop and world building related content every single week. And if you enjoy what I do here and want to help the channel grow, consider supporting me on Patreon. And if you want to keep watching, I've got another couple videos over there. But until next time, happy gaming.